Good morning. This morning I'd like to look at a well-known verse in Lamentations 3 verses 21 to 23. This is what it says. Jeremiah wrote Lamentations. But this I call to mind, and therefore I have hope. The steadfast love of the Lord never ceases. His mercies never come to an end. They are new every morning. Great is your faithfulness. This verse is written after kind of 2 or 3 chapters of Jeremiah lamenting, which is why the book is called Lamenting, just kind of weeping and tears. And then he comes out with this fantastic verse that he's going to call these things to mind, and therefore he will have hope. The Amplified Version says these are the things he will call to mind so that he will have hope and expectation. The Message says that he would bring these things to mind because then you'll have a grip on hope. And maybe that's what you feel like this morning, the beginning of another week. Just something that you can grip onto, that will give you hope, that give you expectation, that will keep you going. And Jeremiah says these are the things that we call to mind every morning. Now, I don't know about you, but so often when the alarm goes off in the morning, or the birds currently wake me up in the morning, a lot of other things flood into my minds. This idea of his mercy and his love and his faithfulness, to be honest, are not the first things that flood through my mind. More often than not, it's just kind of catching my breath thinking, okay, homeschooling today. I knew the children up. Into my mind rush the thoughts of maybe meetings I have this day that I need to prepare for. Maybe it's some kind of conflict or worry from the previous day. Maybe it's just some nagging feeling. Maybe it's just feeling to see if that particular part of my body that's been aching for a while is still aching, or suddenly I've woken up and it's all okay. I suspect for each one of us, we have a whole load of different things that kind of flood through our mind when we wake up. But Jeremiah encourages us to think differently. When I was preparing this talk, my computer came up with that message we often have, which says, reboot, that we need to reboot it to kind of update. And I really felt that was a word to myself and to us as this passage, that we need to reboot. This is a moment right now at the beginning of this week, beginning of the day, just to reboot, to update ourselves, to remind ourselves of these truths. The steadfast love of the Lord never ceases. I mean, that's just mind-blowing in itself. Katie and I have just recently, over the last 3 or 4 years, kind of extended our kitchen and gone up into the loft, and you buy, particularly for the kitchen, different appliances. But it's amazing that everything now seems to have such a limited warranty, 1 or 2 years warranty for refrigerator, whereas kind of lifetime refrigerators gone. Or often when you buy a good, the people say, would you like to buy insurance for this so it will last more than kind of 2 or 3 years? It's because these things cease. The latest in technology is seen to be limited. But here we hear about something that never ceases. In a world where we're just used to things ceasing, to guarantees being needed, and warranties being needed, insurance be taken out. God doesn't need that. He has a lifetime guarantee of never ceasing. And it's new. It's new this morning. And we need to have that newness. You see, the mercy and the love that was for yesterday. This morning we need new mercies. A bit like that image of give us today our daily bread, or fresh manna each day. We need to have that fresh love. And he's faithful. The word there means permanent, secure, reliable. And again, we need that in a season in our lives where so many things are changing. We need to call these things to mind. Let's reboot. Let's restart this morning, this week, with these truths. And I suspect for myself, and maybe for you as well, we'll have to keep rebooting this week. And starting each day, each moment again. Let's just repeat those verses again and speak them into ourselves. God, I thank you that your steadfast love never ceases. It goes on and on. I thank you your mercies, God, never come to an end. They never run out. I thank you that they're new every morning, and that includes this morning. Thank you, God, that you are so faithful to me.